Hi there, I'm Ben, and welcome to my trophy guide for Ultimate Weapon from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Basically, to get this trophy, you need to defeat Pride and Joy Prototype. This is the final VR simulation of the game. You will need to have completed all of the other VR simulations, plus all of the Colosseum battles from chapters 9 and 14 before you can do this. You will also need to have completed the game once to open up the hard difficulty, as all the later VR simulations need to be done on hard difficulty. Basically, chapter select back to chapter 17. Chadley will be near the start of that chapter now. Go and speak to him. There'll be a Shinra combat simulator, behind him. You can go to there, complete all of the simulations in there, and then the last one, which we'll be looking at here, is the 3-person team versus top secrets. We need to complete this one to get the trophy. Basically, you'll be fighting all of the VR boss fights that we have done previously: Shiva, Fat Chocobo, Leviathan, and Bahamut, who has a friend with him this time. He has Ifrit with him. And then eventually the Pride and Joy Prototype. I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of, if not the hardest fights or series of fights in the game. That's why I'm about to just go into in-depth detail about what setup you want to use for each character. First up, we have Cloud Strife. He's going to be a melee build. He's going to be built for strength. He's going to have the hard edge, which is the hardest hitting weapon. He's going to have the chain bangle as his armor, mainly because it has 2 connecting slots, and then the transference module, which is going to help build up the limit break gauge every time you use an ATB. His materia are going to be healing, revival, HP up, MP up, HP up again, first strike, time for haste, steadfast blocking, and ice and elemental. The ice and elemental are going to be for this first boss fight, Shiva. Literally, you will not be able to get damaged by her. So I will explain more about the builds once we're actually fighting, but essentially he is there to start off quickly, give everybody haste, and then we're going to move on to Tifa, who's going to have the metal knuckles, the cog bangle, which again is for that split in the armor, and then Fury Ring, which is going to make her dole out more damage, but also take more damage. She's going to be our main attacker. So once Cloud has given everybody haste, we're going to move straight to Tifa and do most of the damage there. So similar setup to Cloud. She has the 2 HP up, the MP up. She has the ATB assist to build up other people's ATB bars. She has barrier. She has revival, and then the 2 elemental and ice, so that Shiva can't touch us as well. She also has auto cure as well, but that's just for emergencies. Our main healer is going to be Aerith, who's going to have the mithril rod, the rune armlet, which is again for that connected armor slot. She's going to have the healing Carsona, which are going to make her healing or just spells in general really, really powerful. She's going to be built for magic, so she's going to have 2 magic up, which makes her magic stronger, 2 HP up, 2 MP up, and then she's going to have the revival along with healing and magnify. That's going to allow her to heal the entire team for 1 healing cast. Now onto the fights. The first fight is Shiva, and with the setup for Cloud and Tifa, this is just a joke. She cannot touch you because her attacks are ice based, and we have set up to basically be immune against ice. She cannot damage either of these 2, so you're free to just run in. The strategy we're going to be using for all of these boss fights is run in with Cloud. He will have his full ATB bar from his first strike materia. You're going to want to cast haste on himself, on Cloud, and then you're going to want to hit, do some damage, basically build that ATB back up, which is going to happen quickly, more quickly because you've just cast haste on him. And then you're going to want to cast it on Tifa, and then do the same again and cast it on to Aerith. And then we're going to switch to Tifa, and she's going to be our main attacker. And we're basically just going to loop over with Chi Trap, which you can see me doing here. We're going to attack in, and we're going to go Chi Trap, and then attack more, and just Chi Trap. This is building up the stagger meter on the boss really, really quickly. Also, be using Cloud's focused thrust at the same time, so keep an eye on that. You're going to want to keep Aerith's bars full for this exact moment now. So when you break down the boss into a stagger, switch to, or not switch to, but command Aerith to use the Ray of Judgment. This is going to build up the stagger percentage here, and then with Tifa you're going to want to keep doing the True Strike, which is also going to build up the stagger percentage. You can see it up there, up to 240 already. And then if you time it well, use Cloud's Infinity's End. I do it a bit late here, so she does get back up, but if you were to do that at that point, then you would kill Shiva in one go with no damage on Cloud or Tifa. But I'm just going to skip the end of this fight here. Essentially, she's just going to float around. She's going to do her move, though, this diving, Diamond Dust, sorry. Doesn't affect Cloud or Tifa. It does hurt Aerith a bit, but it's not too much to worry about. And then she'll go into sort of a pressured state, and you can just finish her off. Next up, we have Fat Chocobo, and we're going to do exactly the same thing here. We're going to jump in, we're going to cast haste on Cloud, we're going to go in, do some damage, try not to get knocked back. This does happen quite often. But then, as soon as he's got a full ATB bar, cast haste onto Aerith, onto Tifa, build it back up again, and then cast it onto Aerith. And then we're going to be moving on to Tifa, and we're going to do exactly the same things we just did. We're going to loop that Chi Trap. We're just going to keep going, attacking. As soon as we've got enough ATB, cast it. And as soon as we've got enough ATB, cast it. And just keep doing that over and over again. Now and again, if you have the extra, give Cloud the order to do the focus thrust as well if you want. That's going to help build that up. Or you can just leave his ATB full, and he's going to be able to do an Infinity's End right at the end with this Fat Chocobo. So it's exactly the same. You can already see it's staggered already. So again, once it's staggered with Aerith, use the Ray of Judgment to build up that percentage, and with Tifa again, use the True Strike to build up the percentage as well. And then with Cloud, finish it off, or try to finish off with Infinity's End. Again, I'm going to skip the end of this fight, or just leave the end of this fight running so you can see what happens, but you may have to do this in 2 rounds. I don't think, because Fat Chocobo has such big HP, large HP should I say, it's not going to go down in one go. Now onto the fight I actually dislike the most out of these 5 fights is against Leviathan, mainly because if you don't do it quick enough, which you're going to see me, I kind of just fall short. If you don't get rid of it quick enough, it's going to start flying around. I'll show you what to deal with that in a minute. But essentially exactly the same as last time. Haste on Cloud, haste on Tifa, haste on Aerith, and then go in with Tifa and use that Chi Trap, use Cloud's focus thrust, and just try and break the stagger down. This one does move a lot more. He's going to move around a lot more and try and get away from your attacks. He will do this spinning dive move sometimes. Switch to Cloud if he does this, because Cloud has the steadfast blocking materia, so he's going to be able to soak this damage up with very little at all. You can see it kind of hits the other 2 as well there, but if you try and get his attention with Cloud, just to try and move him away, healing is not a problem as well. Aerith, is just built for healing, so just keep doing that as well if you need to, and just keep running in with Tifa. When he does this, this is quite a good time to try and get some lots of stagger damage in. It's not going to be quick enough, but it's not too much of a problem. If he does do it, you can see there's not too much damage going on. You can just pop a heal with Aerith and then just continue attacking. You're basically racing one attack. You don't want this boss to do the tidal wave attack. If you stagger it in time, he's not going to do it, which we're going to do in a moment. He's going to stagger him, no problem. And then just finish him off. If you've done enough damage at this point, you may actually have, if Tifa had her limit break, there is a possibility I could have finished this guy here, but unfortunately she doesn't have it, so I'm going to have to do the Aerith Ray of Judgment. The Tifa I do diving kicks this time, and then we've got Cloud doing his limit break. It doesn't do enough, and then he's going to start flying around. If he does do this, then you're just going to have to switch to Aerith and hit him from a distance. Aim for the tail, don't aim for the head, you can't do any damage with to the head. He is going to eventually do a spinning dive attack again, and then he'll come to the floor like this, allowing you to finish him off with either Cloud or Tifa. This is a waiting game basically, so you're just going to have to wait it out if you don't manage to get him with that first stagger. Right, on to the 4th and arguably the most difficult fight of this section, of these few. It's going to be Bahamut. You're basically racing one move again. He's going to build up to Mega Flare. If he unleashes that chances are you are going to die if you're not set up for it. But you can race him quite easily. Haste on all three again. Luckily, we've got it out there. No, unluckily, sorry. I don't think it landed on Tifa. So I didn't get Tifa with it there. So we're just going to have to keep going at it until we've got haste on all three characters. The trick with this one is to switch. Keep switching back and forth between Cloud and Tifa, because he's going to attack the character that you have control of. So once he starts attacking the one you're controlling, switch to the opposite one and hit him from behind. He's going to do these countdowns. He's going to start at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once he reaches 1, he's going to unleash Mega Flare and you're going to die. Unless you have Barrier, which Tifa does have. If you get to 1, you can cast Barrier or Mana Flare, not Mana Flare, sorry. Mana Wall. That's going to half all incoming damage and basically allow you to survive. But essentially we're racing him down and we are going to get there. But when he gets to half health, the problems actually start. It's when he's going to summon Ifrit, who's going to come and help him, and he's going to be probably the biggest pain. This guy on his own is fairly easy. We've already beaten him in the VR challenges. So basically you need to race him to 1 and also try and get as much health off him before he summons Ifrit. So it's the same thing over and over again. Just keep switching between characters. The ones that are clear, use those ones. So now we're going to use so Cloud here. As soon as he locks onto Cloud, we're going to change, but we don't have to do that because he started counting down. This is the perfect time to hit him. Hit him with everything. So Focus Thrust and then Chi Trap, and just keep looping Chi Trap. Keep building it up and then go again as soon as you've got it. Focus Blast as well. Hell, even if Aerith is ready, you can hit him with Ray of Judgment. Just get everything you can into him when you have these downtimes. He will also sometimes grab your active character or the one of your characters. Then is another good time to run in and get a load of damage. Hopefully he grabs Cloud, which allows Tifa to get a load in. Limit breaks are not essential for this guy because we're going to be beating him down. I think we get 1 limit break is going to be ready, but it's not essential. We're going to be killing him before we get to that point. So jumping ahead here, he's just finished his 3 count. We've done 5, 4. That was 3, the end of 3. So you can see he's nearly there with pressure, and his health is really low as well. So when he gets to about half health, this is obviously later. We were stuck in the countdown animation. When he gets to about half health, he's going to summon Ifrit in. Now Ifrit is the biggest problem. And the biggest problem I had is I instantly went for Ifrit because he is a glass cannon. He's got a really low health pool, but he hits hard. So I was instantly going for him because I wanted to try and get rid of him. And then that would allow Bahamut to get to Mana Flare and it would kill me. But when I changed my direction to Bahamut, so when Ifrit comes in, just ignore him. Keep going at Bahamut until you get him down. Now you're going to see him go down really quickly in a moment. We are nearly there. There he's staggered. At this point I do actually have Tifa's limit break and we're going to pop that on him. And then we're going to hit him with everything that we have. Still ignoring Ifrit. Just get rid of Bahamut. He is the biggest problem. Once he is staggered now, even if you don't kill him, if you don't finish him off, he's going to start his countdown again. So you can breathe a sigh of relief as soon as you stagger him. And then once he's down, then you're free to just take Ifrit on. You can see how quickly he goes down. His health pool is quite low. He does hit hard and he is quick and he will just get all up in your face basically. But you can take him down really quickly once you have all 3. So just be prepared and just ignore him and just keep going at Bahamut until he's dead, and then you're free to take this guy down with ease. Now on to the final fight of this group of fights. This is Pride and Joy. This is the one you need to defeat for the Ultimate Weapon trophy. He's going to be tough, right? Not at all. This is the hardest thing that he does. So as soon as the fight starts, run off to the side and to block with Cloud. He has his steadfast blocking, so he's going to take not much damage at all, and then you can just pop a heal with Aerith as soon as she's ready and just go in for the attack and just keep going at him. Go at the back of his legs, keep doing the swap between Tifa and Cloud. Have the same sort of setup, get that haste going, and just keep going at him. He has very few attacks that are really going to bother you, or all three of you. He might knock one or two of your characters down, but he's never going to do anything that's going to bother all three of you at the same time, so you can rebuild. Now he does go down like this. If you're lucky, it can be quite often. Just keep going at the back of his legs, and that's going to be the best chance of that happening. Sometimes he's going to pick one of your team up like this. You're going to see him catch. I think it's called catch his move. He's going to try and catch T. I tried to move her out of the way, but it wasn't happening. When he does that, you can just attack his right arm, and he's going to drop the character again. Unfortunately, I don't seem to get to. I couldn't get to it in time. I did cast Ray of Judgment with Aerith. I've just skipped ahead here, but he attacked her at the same time, so it kind of negated it. And this is what happens if you don't get to the person in time, or damage his right arm in time. He will knock them unconscious in one go, but that's not a problem. We have revival, so so you can just revive that character and just keep moving. Like I said, this guy is a walk in the park compared to Bahamut and Ifrit. He does nothing that particularly bothers all of your team at the same time, so you always can just rebuild. Just keep switching characters, attacking the back of his legs, and if anybody gets grabbed, shoot the arm, and eventually you'll stagger him. Hopefully you get more damage in than I do then. I get the timing wrong again on Infinity's End, but you can see his health is going down pretty quickly. We're going to finish him off with some of Tifa's dive kick. That one missed, but Tifa's dive kick is one of the stronger attacks I find, so it's all good. Right, that's it for this one. You can see he's down. We're just going to finish him off, and once you've finished him off, you're going to get the Goethe Damerung accessory. That's going to allow one of your characters to have a full limit break whenever you start any fight, so that's amazing, and this is going to help for hard if you haven't done it yet. And see, there's my time, 13:58. Not the quickest, but good enough. Right, that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.